All right, folks, welcome to your calculus final exam review. This is Yak Math Videos here with some in-house sponsors today. We have Cliff Bar Pumpkin Spice, Spice Pumpkin Pie Edition. Cliff Shots are in the blocks are in the house, and just bought this lovely gluten-free cereal. Pumped to have it. Yogi's in the house. He's gonna help us out a little bit tonight. All right, folks, let's take a look at your answers. Anyway, folks, as I told you before, evaluate the difference quotient. This question has a decent chance of being on your final. Difference quotient is given as follows. Notice I didn't say the limit as h goes to 0. I didn't say take the derivative, though you know that the derivative, which is 8x minus 9, has got to be in the answer. Anyway, folks, plug x plus h in for x, and then subtract f of x. Do a little first, outer, inner, last there. A lot of things cancel. Again, you should practice this one first. Get this answer down. Pause it whenever you need to, folks. That might be a good idea. You can play with some different camera angles there. All right, so let's see here. Always the best editing here at Yak Math Videos. Folks, there will be an unpaid internship. 0 benefits for the spring, so contact Yak Math Videos if interested. Find the domain of each function. So first you got 2, and this is a rational function. Only time the domain is going to be restricted in this case here is if the denominator equals 0. So simply set the denominator equal to 0. The domain is x such that x can't equal negative 8 over 5 or negative infinity to negative 8 over 5 union negative 8 over 5 to infinity. It's saying the same thing. Pick one of them. All right, sets these inside the square root equal to 0. You know the square root of 0 is like the boundary there. That's the lowest square root. You can take plus or minus 9, all right? When you square negative 9 and positive 9, you get 81. Anything between negative 9 and positive 9 will be allowed. Notice I'm using brackets because negative 9 and positive 9 will be included there. C, same type of question. You have the fourth root. Set that equal fourth root of x, or not the fourth root, x the fourth is equal to 256 plus or minus root 4. Anytime you're taking an even roots, plus or minus. All right, the domain negative 4 to positive 4. Take a look here at D. You cannot take the natural log of 0. Can't take the natural log of 0. Try it and it'll say error. So folks, x has got to be greater than negative 4. All right, moving on here. Determine whether f is even, odd, or neither. Show why. Here's the actual definition. Plug a negative x, you get the same thing as regular f of x. Or remember, we can try negative 2, positive 2. You get the same answer. Thus, it's even. Number 3 here. 3b, that is. You don't get the same or the opposite. Notice if you plug negative 2 in and positive 2, you don't get opposite answers. You don't get the same. It is a neither. State the domain and range of f of x and sketch its graph. So first off, folks, set 36 minus x squared equal to 0. Negative 6 and positive 6 are your zeros. And when you plug 0 in for x, you're going to get square root of 36, which is 6. So it gives that half circle. Your domain is negative 6, positive 6. Your range is 0 to 6. All right. Next question here. Find the inverse of each function. Number 5, rewrite that as y equals, switch x and y, the y swap, add 5 to both sides and square both sides as we did. All I did, folks, in this step right here is I just switched. I subtracted 3 from both sides, and I just put 4y on the other side, and then divide by 4. There is your inverse. Take a look here at B. Switch x and y. You already have y there. Switch x and y, folks. You got to write e as a base. All right, e to the natural log x. That just cancels out e and natural log, and x comes on down. Then add 6 to both sides. And for C, switch, write that as y equals switch x and y. What you're going to do is think of that as x over 1, and then you're going to multiply x by 3y and a negative 5. Factor, let's see, move this over here, move that over there. Then you're going to factor out to the y that both of those have in common and divide both sides by 3x minus 2. All right, given the table value, the table values for f is given each transformation, write out to the new table. What you got here, guys, is a horizontal change to the left. To remember, it goes opposite. If it's on the inside, it's a horizontal change. And then if it's on the outside, we're talking about vertical. Anyway, all of your x values are moving to the left, 2, so you're subtracting 2 from each and keeping the y values. Here's a combo, so negative 3 means it's a horizontal change to the right 3, and a vertical change or shift up 4. So add 3 to all the x values you saw in the initial table, and add 4 to all the y values. This is a horizontal, again, you're multiplying, so it's the opposite when it's on the inside with x. It's a horizontal shrink by factor 2. All those initial x values get divided by 2. All of those initial y values, you subtract 3. All right, folks, let's take a look here. Given f of x and g of x, find those compositions. So f of g of x is 8 minus 4x. Plug that in for x in the f of x equation and simplify. Number 7, g of x squared plus 5x. Plug it in. Glade style. Nothing kills the scent of freshman boys quite like Glade, and Glade was in the house. Glade has abandoned us. No Glade here to show you. All right, so we're going to move on. The ultimate composition here, f of g of h of x. Let's first do this one right here. We're first going to evaluate g of h of x. All right, Yogi is starting to growl a little bit. Yogi, let's keep it down out there. Mailman is not coming. Plug 5x minus 4 in for x right there. All right, looks good. Simplify that, and then take that answer and plug it in to the outer function right there, which is f of x. Guys, that one had some big numbers. Sorry about that. All right, that's just going to happen. Anyway, that's how it simplifies. Number 9, let's solve for x. Put e as the base. Add 1 to both sides, then divide by 3. On this one right here, attach natural log as the base, then the x minus 3 comes on down. You're going to divide both sides by natural log 4, then add 3. Let's write the exact answer. That is the exact answer. And folks, this is fun. I have yet to do this one, so let's do this one together. We're going to need to attach natural log to both sides. So you're going to have natural log of e to the 4x plus 3 is natural log 6. Okay, then 4x plus 3 is going to come on down, and that equals natural log of 6. You're going to subtract 3, so 4x is equal to natural log of 6 minus 3. Not the natural log 3. You cannot subtract 3 from natural log of 6 and call it natural log of 3. That's not how it works. And x equals the natural log of 6 minus 3 divided by 4. All right. There is that answer, folks. Moving on. Next page. Using properties of logs. Addition is multiplication. Number on the outside means it initially was a power. Subtraction is division. So this goes up as a power. It is 2 to the 3rd, which is 8. Addition, you simply multiply 4 and 8. That's 32. 32 divided by 16 is natural log 2. Take a look here at B. Addition means multiplication, so you're going to take x minus 3 times x plus 3. That is x squared minus 9. That exponent is going to come on north, so x squared. Subtraction means division. Find the exact value here, folks. 3 to what power gives you 1 over 81? Well, if 3 to the 4th is 81, 3 to the negative 4th is 1 over 81. That's natural log of e to the negative 5, which is simply negative 5. Right here, subtraction means division. That's natural log of 4, or log base 4 of 2 plus log base 4 of 8. Log base 4 of 16 is actually 2, so that has a lovely answer there. Take a look at 12. Power to power, you multiply, you raise 2 to the 5th, which is 32. Multiply the powers together, then you add the exponents. 4 to the 3rd is 64. X squared to the 3rd is x to the 6th. Divide, you subtract exponents. You divide 64 and 2. Here you're going to add the exponents up top. Get 8n plus 4. Then we're going to subtract the exponents with division, and we get x to the 6n plus 9. Don't forget that 6n plus 9 is the exponent and not just the answer. And I believe one of the last questions on exam number 1 is such. Basically looking for the sine of an angle that has a cosine of 7 over 10. Cosine 7 over 10, cos inverse, it gives you answers in the first and fourth quadrant, and it's positive, so it goes in the first. So draw an angle that has a cosine of 7 over 10. So Pythagorean theorem would give us root 51 because we know that is true. Then the sine of that angle theta would be root 51 over 10. All right, write that down. I'm going to take a water break. Our water tonight is brought to you by Fresh Time. Lovely blackberry saged infused water. Yes, nothing more manly than that water right there. Folks, I need to draw an angle that has a sine of -2/3. Sine inverse gives you answers in the fourth and first quadrant, so that's why I wrote it there. Pythagorean theorem gives us root 5. All right, so the cosine of that angle, which is what I want, root 5 over 3. And, folks, that's a good time. We are going to stop here with video number 1. This will be probably a three video review. We'll start the next video with Calc, exam number 2 answers. All right.